Welcome to Morning Joan, the hottest podcast in town. I'm your host, Joan, and we're so glad you're joining us today. Grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into the latest scoop. You guys, have you heard about the Kpop Demon Hunters phenomenon that's taking over the world? It's a movie that's not only breaking box office records, but also influencing the music scene in a major way. And, honey, we are here for it. The film's soundtrack features a group called Saja Boys, and their song Soto is everything and more. It's like a refreshing blast of bubblegum pop that's perfect for the summer. But what's even more interesting is how Kpop Demon Hunters is inspiring a new wave of pop hits. We're talking about songs that are sweet, upbeat, and totally addictive. I mean, who doesn't love a good snack song, am I right? From NCT Dream's Yogurt Shake to the Boys' Lip Gloss, these tracks are guaranteed to get stuck in your head and leave you wanting more. And it's not just K-pop groups that are getting in on the action. We're seeing Western boy bands like in real life, who were formed on ABC's reality competition series, Boy Band, releasing bubblegum pop treats like Tattoo. It's a full-on pop revival, folks, and we are living for it. But what does this mean for the music industry as a whole? Are we seeing a shift towards more lighthearted, feel-good tunes? And how will this impact the chart? We'll be discussing all of this and more in today's episode. So, if you're ready to dive into the world of Kpop Demon Hunters and the pop hits that are dominating the airwaves, then you're in the right place. We'll be right back with more tea on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan. We're glad you're still with us after that fascinating first segment. Now let's dive into the world of sports and talk about the latest developments in baseball. I've got a great story for you today, straight from the diamond. It seems like Juan Soto is proving himself to be quite the player for the New York Mets. In their recent game against the Kansas City Royals, Soto hit a home run that helped secure a win for his team. But what's really interesting here is that Soto wasn't selected for the All-Star game, which has raised some eyebrows among fans and commentators alike. According to reports, Soto's performance this season has been impressive, with several home runs under his belt. His latest homer was a 435-foot smash to right field, which came after he was scratched from the All-Star roster. It's clear that Soto is not letting the snub get him down, and is instead focusing on helping his team win. The Mets manager, Carlos Mendoza, praised Soto's performance, saying that he's playing exactly as expected. The team is looking forward to the second half of the season, and with players like Soto on their roster, they're feeling optimistic about their chances. But here's the thing, Soto's All-Star Game snub might actually end up costing him some serious cash. Apparently, there are incentives tied to his contract that would have paid out if he had made it to the All-Star team. So while Soto might be playing well on the field, he's also missing out on a potential payday. It's always fascinating to see how these kinds of storylines play out in the world of sports. Will Soto continue to shine for the Mets? And will his performance ultimately earn him the recognition he deserves? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, we'll be keeping an eye on this talented player as the season unfolds. And that's all for this segment of Morning Joan. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of sports. Stay tuned for today's last cup of tea, right here on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan, darlings. I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. As we wrap up today's show, I want to dive into a fascinating story that's got everything: sports, Hollywood, and a dash of drama. You know I love a good tale, and this one's about the kings of the gridiron, the quarterbacks. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Joan, what's so interesting about football players? Well, let me tell you, it's not just about the game. It's about the icons, the legends, and the larger-than-life personalities that have captured America's heart. And who better to explore this world than author Seth Wickersham, whose new book American Kings, a biography of the quarterback, is a must-read for anyone interested in sports, history, or just great storytelling. Wickersham's journey takes us from the golden age of Hollywood to the modern-day NFL, with stops at the lives of iconic quarterbacks like Bob Waterfield, Johnny Unitas, Joe Namath, and Steve Young. Can you imagine sitting down with these legends and hearing their stories firsthand? That's exactly what Wickersham did, and the result is a book that's both a love letter to football and a nuanced exploration of the men who play the game. Now, I have to say, Darlings, one of the most intriguing aspects of this story is how Wickersham weaves together the threads of sports, culture, and society. You'll learn about the pioneering black quarterbacks like James Shaq Harris, who paved the way for future generations, and the rebels like Joan Namath, who redefined what it means to be a quarterback. And then there's Steve Young, the San Francisco 49ers legend, who opens up about the highs and lows of his career in a way that's both deeply personal and universally relatable. Wickersham's conversations with these quarterbacks are like having a front row seat to history, and I must say, it's absolutely captivating. So, if you're looking for a great read or just want to geek out about football, American Kings is the perfect book for you. Trust me, darlings, this one's a touchdown. That's all for today's Morning Joan. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay fabulous.